and welcome to Oracle Insight, everyone. It is lovely that you've chosen to spend some time here with me. Now, today's reading, we are looking for a yes or no answer to a question that you have and some information that might be helpful to that situation you're dealing with. So you have three options in front of you, 1, 2, and 3. This is where you bring your question to mind. Take your time, pause if you need to, but feel into which of these options you're drawn to the most. Once you have made your choice, you will find your timestamp in the description below. So go straight through to your timestamp and I shall be there to start your reading. Hi, and welcome to those of you who selected the first pile. So we are going to lead off with the Black Moon Astrology cards here, which will give us an indication of the area or some themes that you're dealing with. You've got Mercury retrograde reinvention and Capricorn I use there. We've got some more oracle cards here and some tarot for clarifiers. But firstly, let's go ahead and turn over these tarot cards, which will give us the yes or no answer to the question that you have. So you've got the 8 and the 9 of Swords. Okay. All right, so the 8 and 9 of Swords are a no. The High Priestess would be a yes. So 2 out of 3 of these cards indicate that no is the answer to your question, group number 1. I'm going to go ahead and turn over these oracle cards firstly, and then we'll turn over the clarifying tarot. Knight of Wands here. You've got Blue Bell Fairy and Gratitude, as well as Do Not Fear the Unknown. Okay, you've got Knight of Wands, as well as Page of Swords. And we've got one last oracle card here, which we will leave to the end, and that can be your party message. Group number 1, I'm drawn to the 8 and 9 of Swords and the Do Not Fear the Unknown card here. This is all pointing to the feeling of being imprisoned by fears, like it says here, the fear, as well as worries and concerns. The 8 of Swords is typically reflective of uncertainties and fears that are of your own making or are in your mind and not truly what is being shown to you from the outside. It's really talking to self-limitation, self-limiting thoughts, and these thoughts cascading into worries and concerns that you're feeling a lot of anxiety about and anxiousness with the 9 of Swords here too. And given that the Do Not Fear the Unknown is there, that's all tying into a very coherent theme of fears. And this is pointing to the fact that whatever it is that you might be concerned at the moment may not be the truth of the situation. So we shouldn't place any kind of judgment on something that you don't have any concrete proof about. This is always asking to be mindful of following other people's advice or the evidence that other people have laid forth in terms of things that have not gone right for them. That doesn't mean to say that it's not going to go right for you. It's about being able to separate the fears from the truth. And if it hasn't happened, if something that you're concerned about has not played out in front of your eyes and within your experience, then it isn't a truth at this time. It's only a fear. And so these cards are very much pointing to that. Given that Mercury retrograde and reinvention is on the table here, that's Mercury is to do with communication, it is to do with thoughts. So there is a theme here of wanting to reassess a situation, a time of contemplation, maybe just checking the facts of things. There does seem to be an element of energy here that supports you in being able to go over something, reconsider something. Okay, because with the Capricorn and IUs, it does point to being able to benefit from something, to identify something and actually to bring it into the equation of your experience and use it to clear out the confusion. There is an ability here to create something with what it is that you identify or clarify in your mind space first, and then using it to create something tangible with the Capricorn and IUs. And interesting that Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn does govern time. Another supporting theme here of a delay, an opportunity to reconsider something, rethink something. And with the Page of Swords here, that could point to a message or some kind of communication that is going to come through which will clarify something. And given that you've got the High Priestess there as well, I'm getting a sense that things will be quietened down. Things will find a balance, things will be muted, things will kind of neutralize themselves with this situation with the High Priestess. And I'm drawn to the feathers here. Even though the bells are there, which are for me an indication of a lot of noise in your ears, you move your head slightly and then there's this cacophony of sound happening. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. The feathers there are indicating that gentleness, that lightness of that brush of air. I'm really taking that to mean that there will be a releasing of this tension with the anxieties there. And with the gratitude card on the table, that really is a simple message of focusing on the positive. It's being grateful for the things that are working in your life, the things that you can find joy, peace in, and that in itself will be a provider of that neutralizing effect that is supported by the High Priestess in dispersing or dissolving the tensions and the anxiousness that we see here with the 8 and the 9 of Swords. And with the Knight of Wands, this is indicating to me that you can't be passive in this situation. It's not about allowing all of this to overwhelm you. You have to take an active part in moving those anxieties out. Most certainly with the aspect of time that we were talking about, there is the opportunity to revisit something and reassess something, but that doesn't mean to say you get bogged down in being overwhelmed by this situation. This is calling for you to be an active participant in moving those energies through. Okay? All right, so what else do we have here? Let's see what this Wisdom of the Hidden Realms has to offer here. And it says Keeper of the Scales. Oh, right then, it says fairness and balance. So I'm seeing this similarity with the High Priestess, the energies in balance here with the two pillars, and how I was saying that there's this neutralizing effect that can be achieved. And it's certainly possible with the attitude of gratitude that's needed here, as well as the energy of the Knight of Wands and being actively generating those energies and that emotion and that mindset of gratitude in order to disperse the heaviness and the self-limiting beliefs, the reoccurring mental fatigue and mental concerns that you have showing up here. But I love that the Keeper of the Scales, we're talking about things returning to a even keel. We're talking about balance there. There is that sense, like I was saying with the feather here, about that brush of air. There does seem to be that flow, that indication of air and flow through here. And it's a gentle one, as opposed to the air that you feel with the heaviness and thought patterns, which are very sharp and very cutting. This is about finding that soothing element of the air as opposed to its harshness. All in all, Group 1, there has been a time of mental overwhelm. A lot of it has been self-imposed, and it could be to do with a lot of fear about the situation. Like I said, this is an opportunity to reassess something and do so from a more settled, peaceful position through the gratitude card there. And then once you find that understanding and that new perspective here with the Page of Swords, whether that's something you find yourself or whether there is an external input that helps you to connect with a new way of looking at things, you'll be able to then use that information to your benefit in some way. And just like I was saying with the Knight of Wands, you have to be actively pursuing this attitude of gratitude. That energy also will support you in being able to use information or that new way of looking at things or that new perspective, and support you in being able to do something with it. All right, so there we go. Group number 1, those are the messages that have presented for you today. I do hope that it helps you in some way. Please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Take care, and I shall connect with you again very soon. Hi and welcome to those of you who selected the second option. So we're going to turn over these Black Moon astrology cards. This will indicate a theme that might be pertinent for you at this time, group number 2. So you've got second house and owning, and air element and communicating. Okay, so next up we shall turn over these tarot cards to give you that yes or no answer to the question that you had. So you've got the 10 of Cups, the Hanged Man, and lastly, you have Knight of Swords. So you've got 10 of Cups, the Hanged Man, and the Knight of Swords. I am going to call this as a yes for these 2 cards. I'm getting a feeling of no from this one, but 2 out of 3 of these cards indicate that yes is the answer to your question, group number 2. All right, so now we have some oracle cards here which we will turn over for a little bit more information. You've got to be spirit prosperity, you've got be vigilant there, and then tarot cards, you've got the Sun. Wow, my goodness, look at all of that. That's really lovely, isn't it? And then you've got Temperance. Now we have one last oracle card here, which is Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, which we will just leave here for our parting message, okay? Group number 2, I love this side of the spread here. You've got a lot of positivity going on with the 10 of Cups, the Sun, and prosperity, all speaking to happiness, all speaking to this prosperous energy, feeling abundant, being abundant, lots of joyous experiences for your life. So that is absolutely fantastic. Now, given that you've got second house and owning and the air element and communicating coming in, there could be for some of you some dealings to do with property. Given that this is there with the Knight of Swords too, and I'm looking at the Be Vigilant card, this is encouraging you to be very diligent, checking the communication, any communication to do with a sale or purchase of a home or any kind of legal proceedings to do with that. It's very important to be aware of your part in a situation, as well as being mindful of how others are also affecting whatever situation that you're going through with regards to a property potentially, or something in terms of a money-making situation, whether that's investing or whether that's your actual work. Something just needs to be checked, double-checked, and just be made aware of, okay? Now, the Temperance is about being able to strike a balance. There's about some kind of healing quality here. So even if there are some miscommunications or some details involved with a financial dealing that you are involved in right now, work, property, anything that is to do with the creation or an exchange of money, even if these cards are indicating for you to be somewhat mindful, I see here with the Temperance that there is a tempered effect that she's bringing to this situation, whatever that might be. And in that sense, I don't see that there will be anything overtly difficult or negative for you to deal with. And whatever challenges that might be presented, it looks like with the Temperance, you'll be able to transmute those very easily and turn a negative into a positive with that. So with the Hanged Man in the center, so that's talking to a potential delay, or it could be a need for a change in outlook, a change in perspective, which actually does tie in quite neatly with this aspect of communication here. That could be what it is referring to in regards to being mindful of the details involved with any kind of contracts, interactions or communications. I'm also getting a sense that there's so much to be gained here with the Sun, the prosperity and the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups is talking to a happy home. It's talking to all-round sense of joyousness, and given that the prosperity is here, that's talking to abundance as well with the Sun and the second house of owning. So I'm getting a sense here that don't sell yourself short with something. If there's any room for negotiation, or if there's anything that you would like to negotiate more for, then this is a suggestion for you to place it on the table. Don't hold yourself back. Don't cut yourself short. I'm actually not getting a sense that you need to sacrifice what it is that you need or that you desire, because there's too much in your favor here where you can be quite beneficial or very beneficial in an outcome of something. And given that, I just love that the Ten of Cups is here, which is a happy home, and then the second house is here on owning, and that does speak very much to property as well. This could be very much to do with buying and selling a home, being in a very joyous position, both financially and emotionally, in connection with a home or in connection with any kind of income creating project or involvement that you are connected with. Oh, that is so encouraging. Love that. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and lastly turn over this Wisdom of the Hidden Realms card, and it is the River Queen, flow, letting go, natural movement. Okay, so this is really tying in with the Hanged Man of letting go of something, letting go of self-limiting ideas in regards to what you might be able to achieve with this prosperous notion or this prosperity making exchange here. And I'm also drawn to the fact with this water here with the temperance and this about the natural movement, there is a nice flow to the situation. So apart from the idea of being mindful, being vigilant, to do with communications, to do with contracts, anything that is of written or spoken form, just ensure that your interests are taken care of. Be mindful that you're not doing anything to undermine the benefits that you can achieve in this situation. But certainly it does seem from this spread, group number 2, that you are in the flow of a very joyous and prosperous experience. So I think that is a perfect note to end the reading on. Group number 2, those are the messages that have come through for you today. If you have found this beneficial, please consider liking, sharing and subscribing. Take care, and I shall connect with you again very soon. Hello and welcome to those of you who selected the third option. So we'll go ahead and turn over these Black Moon Astrology cards, which will give us some themes in play for you at the moment. And so you have Fire Element Desire and Pluto Transformation. Next up, we shall go ahead and turn over these tarot cards, which will give us the yes or no answer to your question. So you've got Page of Wands, King of Cups and Queen of Swords. So all three of these cards are indicating a yes to me as the answer to your question, group number 3. So next up, we've got some oracle cards and some tarot cards here for clarifiers. Now, with you, group number 3, more cards presented themselves for your reading. So we'll be using all of those, the extras. Got some clarifiers here with, that's the tarot as well. So you've got Rainbow Waterfall Miracles, Stag Spirit Leadership, and then this one is Reveal Your Truth. The Five of Pentacles here and the Knight of Swords. We do have 2 other oracle cards, Wisdom of the Hidden Realms here, that we will leave to the side as a parting message. I'm getting a real sense of personal growth from this spread, group 3. I can see the page here with the King and the Queen. You've got 3 of the elements in play here with the fire, the water and the swords. Now, the personal growth for me is showing through the movement from the page into the senior positions of the king and the queen, so there's growth here. And with the Pluto transformation, that's also pointing to energy of huge shifts, of huge changes, of adjustments and transformation of sorts here, definitely, and a huge pivotal growth period. And with the fire element, there's a lot of energy that is supporting this movement, this growth. But I love the fact with the King and the Queen of Swords, you've harnessed a sense of emotional stability. You are harnessing a sense of your own truth here with the Queen of Swords. And given that reveal your truth is right there under it, this is about you claiming your own authentic voice, being true to who you are, being able to voice that to others, being able to present yourself in a very truthful, honest manner with others, whereas previously you may not have been able to do so. I can see here with the Five of Pentacles, this is the energy that you have now moved away from. I don't see that that is something that you are going to have to continue experiencing. You've got miracles here and leadership. Once again, there is this authority that you are now holding for yourself. The Stag Spirit is straight under the King of Cups here, so you have grown exponentially, and it's so wonderful to actually be able to pick up on those energies from this reading, Group 3. Congratulations, you have done so well. And it might even feel quite miraculous for you that you've come the distance and you've come as far as you have progressed for yourself, because you're given that the Five of Pentacles is here and this is the energy previously. I think at that time you were hard pressed to feel that you could grow as much as you have done and achieve this sense of authenticity and leadership here that you now are holding within you. So, wow, congratulations. Honestly, that was really well done. So you have been through a very transformative period. Now it is time to actually speak your truth to others. With the Queen of Swords, you can see that there's a willingness now to be more open and honest with others. And with the Knight of Swords too, this is very much to do with communication. I'm seeing here with the King of Cups and the emotional stability that you now have, there is a sense of self-assuredness with you now, the sense of a deep understanding of your own worth, self-love. There is an honoring here of that, and in that honoring of who you are, you're now able to remove any kind of masks or layers that you may have placed upon yourself to fit in with the world external. Yeah, this is really about you showing up now in your true and beautiful self. Wow, I love that. My gosh, that's just inspiring. And with the fire element and desire, the fire is being lit within you to claim a life force that you probably didn't allow for yourself, or you didn't feel that you had access to, but now you do. And now with the miracles, see that rainbow here? This is about now that you have grown and you've transformed, and now that you're stepping up in your true nature and your true self, this is about what's possible now with this rainbow and the miracles. Oh my gosh, there's so much you can create for yourself now, Group 3. That is truly beautiful. And so why don't we have a look at these cards here, which will give you the parting message, and see what else that you've got as parting guidance. So you have the sacred union, partnership and romance, as well as discernment, clear vision, the details. I am actually drawn to the sacred union, and I don't see it so much as a relationship with another, even though, having said that, we can see that you've got the King and the Queen of Swords here, so this could point to a relationship, but that would only be a few of you, because the energy of the cards or the energy of the spreads was pointing very much to a personal growth. If it is to do with a relationship, then it is about growth within a relationship that's been transformed, that's gone from being of the Five of Pentacles, of not enough, of burdens, sorrow, of hardship, and it's moved into something that is more in line with the person that you are now, which is a blessed union. Because you're now able to show up in your authentic self more and to claim what it is that you deserve in a relationship. So that could be the case. But for most of you, this is about the sacred union that you have within yourself, I think, with the divine, coming to terms with the sacredness of you, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, those elements coming together to fuse in such a way that it supports your stability and how you participate in life now going forward. That's how I'm interpreting this sacred union here. It's a sacred union within yourself, and therefore being true to yourself going forward. And with the ringmaster and scrutiny, discernment's clear vision and details. Well, you're the ringmaster now. You've got that discernment and you've got that clear vision. So you've gone through enough of this transformative energies where you're not going to be willing to take second best, be second best. It is a case now, especially with the King of Cups here, you are secure in your heart center. You'll understand the importance of being open-hearted, and you'll have a lot of depth to offer. And at the same time, in that emotional maturity and that emotional intelligence, you've got a very discerning eye, discerning way about ensuring that all parties involved with any interactions that you are part of are honoured. My goodness, I'm loving that movement of energy from the Pentacles here right through to the King of Cups and the Queen of Swords, and just that transformative experience and that transformative process that you've gone through, which has brought you to a position of leadership. So with that said, group number 3, those are your messages. I do hope that it has benefited you. If you have found it so, please consider liking, sharing and subscribing. Take care of yourselves, and I look forward to connecting with you again very soon.